So let's introduce you now to the main modules, the main themes that we're going to be covering in this course. There are four main themes for the four main sessions that each of us is going to be talking about. And in each of these themes, we are also going to emphasize particular issues that cut across all of the themes, so that you'll see some themes being highlighted in each session that actually are not specific to that session but cut across. So let me introduce them to you one by one, and we'll each take a turn to talk about the particular theme that we discuss in our own sessions. So, Cade.
So I'm going to start in Module 1 by talking about performance evaluation. So this is something everybody has been on both sides of, probably, getting your own performance evaluated and evaluating others. And the idea here is to bring data to bear to do a better job. Given a person and a job, how do we know whether they're doing well or poorly, whether they're working hard or slacking off, and what mistakes might we make and avoid by using data?
In the second module, I'm going to talk about staffing. So this is how do we get the right person in the job? And so focusing particularly on making sure we're hiring good people, how are we moving them inside the organization, how do we evaluate that as well. In doing so, I'm going to focus a lot on how people move in organizations. I'm also going to spend a bunch of time talking about kind of another specific issue which is key in people analytics, which is how do we interpret correlations and how do we think about differences between correlation and causality and how to make decisions based on that.
In the third session, I'm going to be talking about collaboration. And there, what I'm really going to introduce you to is the tools and techniques of organizational network analysis. And to help us analyze collaboration, one of the powerful potential insights that People Analytics can offer is that we can think about collaboration in terms of networks, the connections between people that enable them to get things done. So we will talk about how can you map those connections, how can you map the networks between people inside organizations, how can you analyze those networks, what are the sort of conceptual building blocks for analyzing them, and then how can you really develop some insights and potentially intervene inside collaboration networks in order to improve collaboration inside organizations. And one of the themes that I'm going to be emphasizing in that session that really again cuts across all of our sessions is the importance of good measurement, and particularly measuring both the network side of things but measuring your outcomes really well. Because if you don't measure outcomes really well, then whatever you find, whatever conclusions you can draw from your great people analytics statistics and techniques is going to mean nothing. So really, how do we measure outcomes well is a theme that cuts across all of our sessions.
And then I'm going to close in Module 4 with a session on talent management, which in one way of thinking about it is just a deeper version of performance evaluation, where instead of looking at whether a person's simply working hard or slacking off, we're looking at their fundamental talent and evaluating what capacity this person has and helping them develop whatever capacities they do have. A theme that cuts across all these modules and is an important issue in talent management is also a very fundamental issue in that first module, performance evaluation, and that is chance versus true variation, true skill differences, true effort differences. We have a lot of literature now on mistakes people make in reasoning about chance, and it's critical in talent management and in performance evaluation to navigate those issues. So we'll give you some ideas there, some examples there, and it's something that's going to come up in any number of application areas for people analytics.
And then we'll conclude and just wrap up with some discussion of the big challenges that organizations are facing right now. A lot of that we'll discuss as we go through our sessions, but we'll wrap with some closing thoughts on that and some of the exciting future new directions that we see this field moving in.